Hey, what's going on? E. Jones, bottom to the top hoops.
Black Elvis, we in the building.
Yes, sir. It's the holiday season. Wishing a happy holidays to everybody. We got a great show lined up for you today. But before we get started, man, I want to definitely shout out the sponsors. Big shout out to T-Mobile, who's been showing us love the whole time. Who else we got, L?
Fine food, cuisine.
Yes, sir. And our newest sponsor, the world famous Harlem Wizard. Make sure you guys check out the WizFit Challenge virtual fundraising opportunity, peer-to-peer fundraiser, great for your school to keep the kids active and allow them to have fun while we're confined to being indoors. Go to harlemwizards.com.
The Harlem Wizards are back, baby! Since 1962, we've been in communities raising money for schools, bringing fun to keep that party rocking all night long. We got a brand new virtual fundraiser. We carefully crafted this program to keep your kids active by working out with the Wizards, and the kids get to earn free prizes. So help us support your school by raising tons of money. We want to bring everybody back together safely in a virtual space to have a whole bunch of fun. For more information, contact us at info@harlemwizards.com.
Yo, L, man, we came up with this topic, and it's one that I don't think either one of us can attest to being a proficient, not even proficient, but a master at that. But we talking about the best handles in New York City history, man.
To ever come out of New York.
Yo, this is not excluding any ball player from street ball, overseas, college, high school, NBA. Just who got the handles? Who got that thing on a string? Who got that yo-yo?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I came up with something and I called you. You came up with your stuff. So we just going to get into it, man. And if we forget somebody, leave it in the comments, man. Make your case for somebody you feel should be on that list.
Yes, definitely.
So, Al, when you talk about a handle, what's the first thing that comes to your head with the guys that you played with, against, and kind of seen coming up?
Shake and bake. First thing I think about, mixing on you.
Right. So I want to just make one distinction, Al, because there's a difference between having ball control, being a good ball handler, and having a handle. A handle is kind of like a odd term in New York City that we came up with, right? So it's like being able to, yes, make a move, yes, be able to entertain, yes, be able to, probe a screen and roll, or just put somebody in an island of isolation and be able to get anywhere on the court at any time. Talk about that a little bit, L.
Well, let me start using some examples.
Yep.
One I played with.
Yep.
I don't think it gets no better than him. Once we start naming them, first things first, when you talk about ball handling and you talk about really being able to mix, you usually look at a guard being short.
Okay.
Because they probably perfected their handle because they wasn't that tall or they wasn't really like jumping out the gym.
Yep.
Ali Mo is one of the best ball handlers to ever come out of New York City, the tri-state area. For one, this was my college roommate.
Wow. Where at, Al?
Straight out of
enlighten the people.
Coming out of Richmond.
Enlighten the people. Where'd y'all play together at?
We played at Sullivan together.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
we both was recruited out of high school to be in the backcourt together. He went to Richmond, which was in the PSAL.
Yeah.
I went to King. They figured they'd put us together. Now, normally the shorter guard will be the point guard.
Right.
But because first he was 6'7", and he was able to see over the defense. He was a terror, man. God bless him, man. Rest in peace, man. I love that dude.
Yo, big shout out to my guy, Tyrone Alimo Evans. So look, man, with that being said, that's a very good description. I'm going to give a technical breakdown so people understand. And when we give this list, we're going to talk about who we came up with the overall, then we're going to try to get to top 5. So there's plenty of people who you see out there who are effective basketball players, right? I'm gonna give you an example, like a Mark Price or a John Stockton. John Stockton is a great ball handler and a great ball player. Understand how to master the screening roles. Really didn't turn the ball over. You couldn't steal it from him. A guy like Derek Phelps, who could handle the rock himself, right? And then turn it over. Adrian Autry. And these are New York City guys that I'm talking about who are good ball handlers, right? They could get to the rim. They knew how to use their size, their strength, all of those things. You see kids going through cones and you see kids training. Ball control is one thing. We understand that you're a good point guard. You understand the game. That's not what we talk about today. We ain't talking about the people who got ball. I'm talking about a handle. We talking about a handle. Somebody who got that thing, who just, if you on a one-on-one and they call ice cream on you, AKA a clear out, you better look behind you, see if you got help. Because you're trying to throw the kitchen sink at you.
No, I get it. I've been on a couple of islands every now and then, man. I know how it feel when they talking about clear it out. You like, wait a minute, hold on. You about to get fouled, buddy.
Right. Let's send that message early. So with that distinction being made, and this is the list that we came up with, not to say it's the end all be all. Again, we always talk about this being our opinion. And we think that it's a pretty good list. So the list is God Shamgard, Kenny Anderson, Kimber Walker, Ali Moe, Dre Barrett, Dave Edwards, Skip to Malou, Pearl Washington, Rod Strickland, Booger Smith, Sebastian Telfair, Steph Marbury, and Jerry McCullough. Now, Al, let's just salute to all of these dudes, because on top of being really good ball players, which all of them were, they were extremely entertaining. Right? Like, just take two of them, Al, and talk about your memories of watching them play and kind of what their attributes were, ball handling and otherwise.
Okay, well, I gave you one.
Okay.
Rafer Alston is another one I played with. Me and Rafer played together 12 and 13, right before we went to high school.
Okay.
We went to Phoenix, Arizona together. We went to Little Lads in Jersey, and even back then, as a 13-year-old, he was something different, the way he just played with the ball. And like, it looked like he was playing, but he was just dribbling. It's just that he had that much control, dribbling the ball. So I mean, let's be real. That ball handling got him to the league. Because Rafer wasn't a great shooter.
Well, he wasn't a great shooter going in. And then to his credit, he perfected that jumper, which kept him in the league. But that ball handling and his court vision, his ability
his IQ was always crazy since a little child. I remember he was 17, 16, playing in Rucker. Like, when you talk about the top ball handlers to ever come out of New York, Rafer got to be mentioned, because he was 16 playing with grown men, giving you the oohs and the ahs.
Yo, man, the ability to entertain, be effective, keep that thing on a string, make eye-popping plays, and still be playing to win, that's a tough talent to have.
Absolutely.
There's two people that we did not mention on this list, and there's probably a bunch of people that we mentioned, but coming to my mind, I think of Kareem Reed. He was Arnold Bernard, even Speedy, just entertaining, but you know what I mean? They were more effective and efficient, but I just wanted to shout them out. So I
got another one that we didn't mention.
Who's that?
But I don't know if he claiming Jersey. Kyrie.
Kyrie is probably he. First of all, he might top the list, but I'm I'm going Jersey on that because that's where he played high school and that's where he grew up. But
All right.
His roots is New York, so Kyrie's an asterisk. So L, you hedged the bet, so I'm gonna just go ahead and give you those two. Ali Mo and Rafa makes the top 5. Let's just be real, right? Ali and the groundbreaking street ball phenomenon, which was the N1 mixtape, those two were arguably the linchpins of it when it came to basketball entertainment and ball handling, because that's what it was about. Mix somebody up, get to the cup, score, throw it up for the alley-oop. Both great ball handlers, both great passers, right? And it was just so effortless. And they didn't do it with as much speed, and they did it with like a flow and a swag, and it was just, you know what I mean? It was more timing, and oh man. So now here's where it gets tough. Let's give the new school some props and let's throw Kimba in there.
Okay.
Let's throw Kimba. Because the thing about Kimba is probably the one on this list that can break you down and probably the most efficient shooting after the breakdown. Right? Because he'll mix you up and then step back you. Never forget that image when they won 5 games straight in 5 days in a Big East tournament, and he got that dude on an island from Pittsburgh, and he hit him with that step back in the Garden, mid-range. So Kimba, perennial NBA All-Star.
Easy pass.
Yo, repping the Bronx always. So he makes the top 5. L, we only got 2 more left on the list. I'm going to read them off, and you tell me one, and I'll take one. All right? So Kenny Anderson, Dre Barrett, Dave Edwards, Pearl Washington, Rod Strickland, Booger Smith, Sebastian Telfair, Steph Marbury, Jerry McCullough. Give me one out of those.
When you talking about that deal, I gotta say Booger was crazy.
You going with Booger?
Booger was crazy. I remember Booger, big head, slim body, bop, 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 bop. You know, I want to shout out though, even if he doesn't make the list, Andre Barrett, man, because I remember. See, I'm naming all the dudes that I either played against or been around. Like I remember when we was like maybe 19, 20, you know, like really like out of high school. And I remember Dre Barrett being like 14, 13.
Super mixed up.
Coming out to the park playing with us, waiting, getting his next, waiting, because ain't nobody, he dumb little. And Dre got on the court. I remember we was a little, and he was killing as a little kid. So I already knew Dre was going to be something special, even back then, man.
So I'm going to go in another direction.
I'm
going to say Ross Strickland for my 4th spot. Because I think the other 3 was unanimous, right? I think Kimba, Ali Mo, Rafa, I think those are unanimous. I'm going to go Ross Strickland because, again, most guys are smaller. Rod was a big guard with and he was just doing it at the NBA level. And it was just I saw him. I was there, L, when Rod played in a game against Mike. And Michael Jordan had so many problems guarding Rod. It was ridiculous. It was a problem for him. But with that being said, and I know we was only supposed to have 5, but I got to find a way to put Kenny Anderson in there.
Okay.
I think about the Bob Hurley between the legs, behind the back against Duke on TV, Dick Vitale going crazy, NBA. So Kenny got to find his way in there. That's what we do, Al. We say 5 and we always go to 15.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that over because I cursed.
Okay.
So, Al, Kenny A definitely has to make it in there because, I remember Bob Hurley between the legs against Duke, Dick Vitale going crazy. That's what we always do, Al. We say 5 and we always wind up at 15 or something like that. But I'm taking the last one, Al.
Okay.
the best ball handler to ever come out of New York City, God Shamgar. Period. Period. I'm saying it. I'm claiming it. Listen, he was dancing on national television in college, in the pros, 55th, high school, like McDonald's All-American. He was the epitome of the ball on a string. Like, I remember he talked about handling with ankle weights, wrist weights, and that was his thing, right? And Sham, you know, he got the hops later, started being able to shoot a little bit later, obviously made it to the league, and now is a coach in the NBA and basically has taught a bunch of dudes who you saw, right? Who their games was limited. You look at Luka Doncic, look at Harrison Barnes, look at all these dudes, Seth Curry. He getting dudes paid. I remember Kobe basically said, yo, teach me how you do all these things with the basketball. Came to New York to mess with Sham to learn how Sham handled the ball. He talked about it, how his relationship with Kobe was so special because Kobe would always talk about how he wanted to handle the ball like Sham. And he talked about how he wanted his daughter, God rest her soul, Gigi, to like get sessions in with Sham to teach her how to be a great ball handler, man. Yo, big shout out to the Black Mamba. But
yes, man, rest in peace.
So I'm saying that Sham is the best.
Yo, I tell you this, E, for all of these kids who's watching, Sham wasn't a really good shooter. But there was two things that Sham did well.
Yep.
Sham dribbled the ball well.
Yes. Exceptionally.
And he passed the ball well. His IQ was high since a very young kid. So what that shows you is, you know, there's not a lot of people teaching kids how to be specialists. A specialist at something can get you paid. So that's the point I'm trying to make. If you are a shooter and next thing you know, you're known as a shooter. I remember back in the day, one thing, man, shout out to your boy, Danny Basil, because I used to go to games and I seen how Mr. Lloyd used to try to make me like a Danny Basil. But Mr. Lloyd understood the importance of a specialist. He knew that would get you a Division I scholarship when I didn't know it. I'm like, nah, you trying to limit me. You keep saying I'm just a shooter. You keep putting me with all the best ball handlers. I never was able to play the point with the church because I always played with the best ball handlers. But he understood you're going to be a D2 player if you're handling the ball. I'm going to put you in the best position to be seen doing what you do best. And I didn't understand that then. You know, and overall, I understood, hey, man, I have to have all aspects of my game tight. I'm looking at it that way, but when I played in certain tournaments, we went to Phoenix, Arizona. Blount, what are you doing with the ball? Give the ball to Rafa and get in the corner.
That brings me to another point, Al. So you make a fantastic point, Al. College, AAU, high school, and the like. People choose the wrong places. And I'm hopeful that a guy like Jose Perez that went from averaging 17 points at Gardner-Webb, who's a fantastic ball player, goes to Marquette. I'm pretty sure they promised him all kind of things. And now there's 4 games straight where he didn't play. He's a tough kid, so he's going to figure it out. Confident, very, very talented. And, you know, he's a kid who could play on a Dominican national team. He could make money playing internationally. Who knows his top level? But he could have been the player of the year at a small school where he was the man. He went that level up to kind of try his hand, and that Big East is different. And
it's a different monster.
And he could be good enough to play there, but the fit and who they have at your position and what they promised of stuff too. And he's not a Midwest kid. He's a New York City kid. Like those Chicago kids, those Indianapolis kids, those kids in that area, they get him first precedent because they got to continue to recruit those areas.
Break it down.
You understand what I'm saying? So I know that's not what this show is about. And man, I know Jose Perez is going to figure it out. He's a tough New York City kid. But let that be an example to a lot of people, man. Do your homework on who they have, who they're recruiting, and try to make your decision based on the best fit for you. That doesn't mean you're going to play. It doesn't mean you're guaranteed anything. But a lot of the times, if you do your homework, you can minimize the opportunity for the experience not going your way. That's all I'm saying. So
makes sense.
Al, man, you made some great points. I think this is going to be open for a lot of good debate and people talking about, who they thought about with those handles. Big shout out to everybody who made the list. Big shout out to the team, D Jones, Jerry Ice, City Legends. Yo, again, check us out, Apple TV, Spotify, YouTube, bcomtv.com. Yo, happy holidays. Stay safe. It's a new year. Great things are on the horizon, man. Stay encouraged, everybody, and don't look at the bigness of your situation. Look at the bigness of your God and who you serve, and that will definitely change your outlook. And we wish peace and blessings to everybody. You got the last word, Al.
Happy holidays to everybody. God bless you. God bless your family. Stay safe. Don't forget the corona is still live in full effect. So let's be careful out here, even though, it's Christmas. So we're going to be gathering. Let's still be smart. Let's try to keep our mask on. And at the end of the day, man, let's live life.
Yes, sir. Who you shouting out?
Shout out to the man upstairs, man, for making it all happen for us.
Bottom to the top hoops. We out.
Yeah.